Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I am Mistress Miriam, and I am here with Mark Ramone. It's the Mark and Miriam Show, and it's our 250th anniversary of America show. And you just heard Bob Hope, James Cagney, Veola Vonn sing Yankee Doodle Dandy. And we started all off with Hampton Callaway singing I Still Love the Red, White, and Blue. Let's talk about Yankee Doodle Dandy. I mean, everybody knows Yankee Doodle Dandy.
And who wrote that?
George M. Cohen, right?
Oh my goodness.
Wrote Yankee Doodle Dandy, and they talk about it at the top of the song, just
Yeah.
in case you forgot. And he happened to have spent all of his summers in North Brookfield, Massachusetts. So he was practically a local.
Originally from Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. So,
He came from Providence, Rhode Island, and I imagine that back in the day, that would be, I mean, when he was a little boy. So this song was written in 1955. So when he was a kid, it must have been the 30s that North Brookfield was the country. It's still kind of the country, I would say.
no,
Uh,
actually, I think it was born in 1870 something.
okay, so back in way back when, in
The Victorian era.
Victorian era in the 19th century, it was probably the middle of nowhere and was a beautiful country retreat and a great place to be in the summer.
Mm,
Not that it's not a country retreat and a great place to be in the summer, but people don't like summer in the way that they did back then.
yeah.
Like to just get out of the city. It was just, because people work now so much, the whole idea of sort of taking off the summer with the kids and taking them to somewhere cool and pretty for the whole entire summer. I mean, perhaps if you're somebody of means,
Yeah.
but let's get back to the song. This song was recorded in 1955. The song is older, and George Cohen, he wrote some of the most famous sort of Americana songs. He wrote Your Grand Old Flag. He wrote Over There, which was the American battle hymn of World War One.
Wow.
He wrote Give My Regards to Broadway. I mean, this is a man who was deeply dedicated to American culture. This genre, we would call this Tin Pan Alley, writing songs for the sake of writing songs that have become part of the cultural fabric of America. And it's a great song, and there's a reason why it's a great song. It's catchy, and they talk about Uncle Sam being born on the 4th of July. I mean, how could I not pick this song?
It's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
You know, it's about the birth of this country. So, this is, and it's also an earworm, and you probably listened to it and sang along with it because you know the words. And back in the day in the 1950s, it was very common for celebrities to record songs. Bob Hope, James Cagney. James Cagney recorded a lot, actually, and Bob Hope. And even if you couldn't sing, you could sing an entire album, and that was considered cool. Like people would listen to the album.
Yeah.
Totally, you know, that Dick Van Dyke did it. He was not much of a singer, but he could sing.
I'm really impressed with George Cohen. I mean, his contributions, his patriotic contributions, and also in the decade before World War One, he was known as the man who owned Broadway,
Oh,
and received the Congressional Gold Medal for his lifetime achievement in 1936.
if someone belongs on the songbook, he belongs in the songbook.
Yeah,
Let's get to Hampton Callaway singing the great Cole Porter. This is
another oldie.
another oldie. This is a very old song. And this is not a very well-known song. I still love the red, white, and blue, equally as patriotic a song, but not as well known. It's unclear. It appears in many different. It definitely was in a musical. It's unclear. Perhaps you in the audience, someone who is familiar with older musicals, could tell us what the original musical it was in, but it seems like it was in a few musicals, which would not be unusual for the period. Cole Porter attended Worcester Academy and then attended Yale. It seems like little boys of that era, and this was back in 1905 and 1910, got sent off to school and like spent more time at school than they did at home.
Yeah.
Like home was school. So he spent most of his formidable years in Western New England. He is one of the greats in musical theater. And I can't find another recording of this song made by anyone. So my hat is off to Hampton Callaway for recording this song.
It's funny because it sounds familiar, but you're right. It hasn't been recorded, so how can we know it? But I think it's also cool to put this into perspective too, because this was written around the time of the Bolshevik Revolution and the rise of communism.
Mhm.
If you listen to the lyrics, it kind of reflects on that, harping on the patriotism for America during those times.
There's a great deal of I've picked musical theater and Tin Pan Alley throughout this playlist, and it's because it's always been the place of musical theater and Tin Pan Alley, the popular song in the Great American Songbook to address these themes in the history of our country
Mm.
when things happen. It's always, I mean, music does that, period. Music always addresses the themes, but to see this song sort of address a patriotism during, a time when there are difficulties throughout the world, or that, communism is obviously very unpopular at that time, and, to address that.
Well, the thing is, for some people, it was becoming popular, and that's what the big scare was.
Exactly. It was unpopular to our government,
Yeah.
for instance. I mean, some of the greatest artists of our time got pulled in during the war, whether they were musical artists or, our local favorite.
Rudy Valley.
Huh?
Rudy Valley.
Oh, no, 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 not. Yeah, yeah, Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah.
He he did artwork for the government
Yes. Yeah.
propaganda, and there are a lot of people who hold that against him. But he was working for the government, and that was his job. And that's what happens during wartime, or happened during wartime. I'm not really sure what happens during wartime nowadays.
Gas prices go up.
Yeah, gas. It's war is just something that happens in a theater, the war, with drones and stuff, and it happens somewhere else, and people get killed and slaughtered, and we read about it in magazines and watch it on television, and yeah, prices go up, and it's very inconvenient for us.
Well, that's an amazing blast from the past. What do we have coming up next?
Okay, what we have coming up next is we have some folkier music, which really always, as an art form, really goes for the gut. We're going to be hearing from Peter Mulvey with SistaStrings, who we just love. But we're going to start all off with Matt Nathanson and the Indigo Girls with Whitney Houston's national anthem.